Finished a run. It wasn't much, it was 5k, but I feel like I'm really struggling lately with me running. Evidently, just with me running itself, if you've been following. I feel like I'm building a bit of momentum and get a bit of training going for a week, which is nothing to me in the past, but right now a week's solid running is great, and then I'll skip a day because of something valid, you know, a rest, whatever, and then I'll skip another day, and then I'll have a day off, and then I'll feel like I need a rest, and I'll just brain tricks myself into falling into these bad habits. It's my own fault. Anyway, this is the second run I've done. I went to the gym with Katie last night and did 5k on the treadmill, which was a run walk 5k. I've gone out tonight very late, 11:30. Forced, it's forced. None of it is wanted, I'm forcing everything that I'm doing at the minute. I'll get there. We're nearly done. We're done now. My plan now is to run easy all of this week. I'm trying to be as consistent as I can with this running. I'm sick of hearing myself say the same thing and not do it. Sometimes in the past, you know, when I've tried to train, when I've been training well, and I feel like this, I can't describe it, like a storm coming like over me, where I think I'm losing a bit of fitness, and probably put it down to overtraining, but you can feel it coming. Like, you feel less fit each time you go for a run. I felt this type of feeling before, like when you're training and you feel like you're going backwards, even though you're fully fit. You might have just finished a couple of hard 10k races where you've done relatively well. You might have been 20 seconds, 30 seconds off a PB. The weeks after that, you can start feeling like every time you go for a run, you're losing fitness and you're feeling less and less fit and fresh. You take a week off, and then it turns out that makes you feel worse, because then you actually do lose fitness even though you feel a little bit fresh. So you feel a little bit worse because you think, now I feel alright, but I'm still at the same level where, you know, and then you think, well, if I'm just going to go backwards, I might as well just go full hard reset. And then it takes me ages to find my rhythm again, and I do a lot of self-talking, like, you know, up to this, whatever, yeah, I'm going to get training again, and then it's like I'm lying to myself, but I'm trying to convince myself to do it. That's how it's been since my legs started getting injured. I think, like, my leg was sort of the catalyst for it all, but then I just, once I had that downtime where every time I tried to go running I was just in pain, I couldn't, and then, you know, I start eating more, and you start filling that, I started filling that void of no exercise with just comfort eating with food. And, you know, I thought, oh, it's alright. And my biggest downfall is myself, because I know I can train and go hard and get it off and get fit again. Thinking about that just thinks, oh, I can do it, but you don't really feel it until you go through it again, and you think, why did you do that to yourself? It's like a vicious circle, isn't it? Anyway, that 5k was typical of what it's been since last Wednesday. Kind of like, I think it was 27.5 minutes, developing around 27, 30 to 25 minutes. But like I said, there's no effort, there's no pace, I'm just doing what I please for the first couple of weeks, just to help myself diet, burn calories, and get in some kind of mental rhythm. I've completely lost all speed. I have no endurance. I'm just basically back at beginner level for me. Run all done. 6.45 kilometers, so 4 miles. The last 2 weeks I've managed to do 42 kilometers roughly, I'll put it up, and 45 kilometers. I'm midway through this 3rd week, just past it now, I'm on Thursday. Did 2 speed sessions. They've just been variations of 2-minute reps. I've not kept under 4-minute kilometer pace for the 2-minute reps. For the first week it was 6 by 2 minutes with 75 seconds recovery, and yesterday's session was 2 minutes running at a hard effort, 45-second recovery, another 2 minutes running, 3-minute recovery, then do that 2 more times. It's like a split 4 minutes. The average over the whole of them was over 4-minute kilometre pace, which is, you know, like 6:26, 6:27 minute mile pace is 4-minute kilometre pace. So I was more or less running at 6:40 and about 4:10 for a kilometre. My fitness is really crap now, and I'm planning on doing a 5k this weekend, and I won't call it a hard 5k because I don't really know what a hard 5k is. I want to just set a target and hopefully try and go under 23 minutes. And trainers are different as well, you know. So when I was running really well, the trainers that I would wear would be the Nike Alpha Fly. Like, I loved them. I think your foot just falls into the natural rhythm of what that trainer wants you to do. So the Alpha Flies are a lot foot front heavy. You have to be on your toes to get the most out of them because of the AirPods. They don't really work well with me if I'm heel striking. It's like I'm getting nowhere. My foot strike really adapted for them, and I got a pair last Christmas that I've not really worn. So I wore them for my session last week, and it killed my feet. I consciously made an effort to go on the front of my foot through the session to try and get myself faster, but because I'm more flat-footed at the minute, predominantly heel striking, because my cadence and my foot strike has just gone AWOL, it hurt me. It was like I'd fractured my feet or something afterwards. So I've been wearing these Adidas Prime X, which I've probably done about 1,000, 2,000 miles in at the minute, but these are helping me. These are really what I wore them for yesterday's session, and I didn't have achy feet at all after it. So I think that's something I need to look into going forward, just getting my foot strike a little bit better.
We expected something better than before. We expected something more. All the way now.
I feel like my heart's going to explode. That was a 22-minute, 20-second or 19-second 5k. Either way, 22-20 call it. And that ruined me. I plan on aiming now. I know by the looks of it, looks like I couldn't squeeze another 10 seconds. But in another 4 weeks, I plan on trying to shave that down to 20 minutes. Whether that's 20:59 or 20:01, that'd be nice. But I plan on shaving it down to a 20-minute 5k. Let's see how we go with that then. Since the last 5k, I've put in some good training. Week 6 in total, the end of week 6. The first 2 weeks was just, you know, getting back in shape, trying to run 5k, 6k a day. Since them first 2 weeks I've put in, this is the 4th week of solid training. I've done a handful of good speed sessions. My paces are progressing good throughout the speed sessions, where it's indicating I probably will get 20 minutes this Saturday, but I'm not putting too much weight on it where I'm gonna stress myself out if it's 10 seconds over that. You know, 20 minutes 1 second would be great. I'd be gutted and dip under 20, but then that's running, isn't it? Seconds mean everything. You see people, and myself included in the past, you'll run a race and you'll beat yourself up if you're 10 or 15 seconds off a PB. When in reality, if you ever do a hard reset in life on fitness and put on a load of weight and really experience what it's like blowing out your ass at a pace where you would usually not even break zone 1, then you'll realise fitness is fickle. 20:59 would be great, cool, close, you know. 21:10 would just be, it is what it is. It's 10 seconds over my target time, but I'm getting in the right direction. I did a speed session yesterday. It was 12 minutes running, 2-minute recovery, and 6 75-second efforts with a minute recovery in between the 75-second efforts. And like the first 12 minutes, I think I covered 2.86 kilometers, where I'd done the first K in 4:14, the second K in 4:14, and the third K was uphill, and I was pushing, 860, 870 meters in, I was pushing 4:08 kilometer pace. Them paces would have seemed impossible to me 6 weeks ago. Like the first 2 weeks when I was just doing 5 and 6k a day, everything is tough, because everything is tough in running. There's no easy paces. When you get a certain amount of fitness, you have like a pace range you can work with, like an elastic band where you have really slow and really top end, and you can work in the middle somewhere along the way. But when you're just not used to running after a long time off, you have not. Your elastic band is this thin and your pace range is 0. Everything is hard efforts. So what I'm saying is, I'm on Thursday. My 5k attempt is on Saturday, I've got one more run today, and then I'm having tomorrow as the first rest day in 6 weeks. And then I'm going to chill out and do my 5k after work Saturday morning. Well, Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon. Anyway, it's all fun and games. I've just finished that 5k time trial and it was the most ruthless, horrible thing. My brain hasn't recognised something like that in ages. The time, which I'm buzzing with, was 20:47. I've only been doing speed work for 3 weeks. I've done 2 5Ks. I'm going to do a solid 4-week one now and do another time trial in 4 weeks. There's just something about them hard 5Ks that I always avoid. I would always opt for a session over a 5K, and I need to change that a little bit because I don't do many of these hard 5K efforts, but because I'm back in training now I've got to. Because if you don't check where you are, you'll never know. I'm glad I did that. Oh man, I feel like I'm not just talking it anymore, I'm actually walking the walk as well as talking the talk. I'm getting somewhere, finally.